Hi guys, okay, welcome back to the second episode. Okay, so for this second episode, cerita tentang mistik masih lagi di rumah. Okay, so kepada siapa yang mendengar Spotify, terima kasih. Dan pada siapa yang menonton di YouTube, terima kasih. Okay, so I have Spotify and YouTube. Okay, everything is dekat copywriting dengan dekat link. Okay, aku akan send out the links, put at the description below lah, so you guys can check it out. Okay, so cerita kedua ni panjang sikit guys. Okay, so apa yang terjadi, okay, this is after aku dapat anak yang pertama. Okay, aku duduk rumah ni, macam the first part aku bilang duduk rumah ni dalam 5-6 tahun lah So lepas anak pertama, aku rasa after 1 or 2 years, aku rasa dah setahun lah. So cerita ni berlaku after anak saudara aku punya birthday function. So my mom came to my house that particular night to discuss something. Okay, so after discussion, okay, I cut the story short. After the discussion, okay, my wife went into the room untuk tengok anak aku, and aku went to dapur to drink air ke apa lah. And my mom is there. Okay, so I was talking to my mom. Suddenly I received a text message from my wife, which is inside the room. Okay, by the way, I'm in the room right now. Okay, the message aku, dia cakap the exact words, "Did you snore?" Okay, snore tu maksud berdengkur lah. Okay, so aku was, apa yang berdengkur Okay, dalam hati aku cakap, apa yang berdengkur So aku pun masuk dalam bilik. I ask my wife, okay, apa yang berdengkur? Dia cakap, no, I heard someone snoring right beside me. Terus aku cakap, okay lah, I got nothing to say lah. Bila benda tu jadi macam gitu, aku got nothing to say. So mak aku pun masuk bilik. Mak aku cakap, okay dek, aku nak balik. So salam. Then after that, she asked what happened. I told my mom, I said, tak ada ikan dengan orang berdengkur je. Then she said, itulah, aku pun dengar, aku pun rasa. Dia cakap, aku tiba-tiba rasa. Okay, so what happened is, I wanted to escort her out of the room and the house. And suddenly she said, dek, dia datang. Okay, so aku cakap, apa yang datang Dia cakap, dek, dia datang. So dia betul-betul kat luar pintu bilik aku ni, dia terduduk, okay, duduk dia katakan menyelimping ke menyelimpang. Okay, duduk menyelimpang tu macam kata korang tahu makcik-makcik yang duduk potong bawang dia. Okay, so kaki diorang yang macam gini lah, yang macam tahiyat akhir lah. Okay, so benda ni bukan pertama kali aku nampak mak aku dah sampuk. So aku dah somehow prepared lah. So that time aku ada maid. Okay, so I asked my maid to sit in front of my mom. Okay, without any question, she just sit down there. Aku pun pergi toilet ambil wudu. Okay, so lepas ambil wudu, aku keluar. Then after that, I still see my mom duduk macam gitu lah. Then after that, tiba-tiba aku tap bahu dia. Aku cakap, mak. Suddenly she wake up and she laugh. Okay, dia okay, korang imagine yeah, I'm gonna show you the bukan exact reaction, tapi reaction dia macam gini. Dia tengah duduk, okay, kaki macam gini So dia tengah macam gini. Tiba-tiba bila aku tap, dia dia ketawa. Okay, that is in her voice lah. Okay, kalau aku buat dah macam kelakar lah. So bila dia ketawa tu, mate aku terkejut. Okay, muka dia baik-baik Melayu jadi Cina guys. Okay, it's so pale and so white. Okay, so I told her, dia tiba-tiba pusing aku. Dia cakap, sir, what is this? Dia cakap, apa ni? Tu aku cakap, tak ada apa-apa, aku pergi masuk bilik lah. Okay, so she move off. So dengan sedikit ilmu yang aku ada, and I told you this is not the first time yang aku nampak mak aku kena sampuk. So aku pun keep reciting the Al-Fatihah 3 kul lah. Okay, so keep reciting that. So benda ni berlaku dalam 1 jam plus minus. Okay, so dalam that 1 hour, I asked my wife to call my dad. Then after that, my dad and my mom, that period of time tengah duduk dengan my sister lah. My sister is just staying 1 block away. Okay, so bila bapak aku sampai tu, benda tu dah nak habis tau. So dalam masa 1 jam tu, aku try to talk to whatever is inside her body. Aku try tanya, kau siapa, dari mana, that such, macam the general questions lah. So benda ni tak berbual, dia cuma hanya ketawa dan menangis. So bila the ending part, aku rasa dia dah penat, aku pun dah penat kan. tiba-tiba she just look at me straight up in the eyes and cakap, aku akan bunuh mak kau. So she said exactly like that. Okay, in my mom's voice lah. Bila tengah nak buat kerja tu, pukul 9 pagi, okay, my younger sister called me, okay. So adik aku call, dia cakap, bang balik. Terus aku macam, apa kau? Dia cakap tiba-tiba balik. Dia cakap balik, mama kena sampuk. I was like, 9 pagi mama kena sampuk. Okay, so sekarang soalan dia is, okay, this is okay, pada orang yang percaya, okay tau. Okay, korang imagine you are in my shoes. Macam mana korang nak bilang the management? Okay, korang dah pergi kerja, dah tunjuk muka, okay, baru nak start kerja ni, tiba-tiba nak kena balik. So I have no choice, but luckily my supervisor Malaysian, okay, and he said benda ni is, aku dah tak tahu, aku dah lost lah, okay. Aku straight up to him, I said I need to go home, aku rasa mak aku kena sampuk. Then he said, okay, never mind, go home. Okay, so he asked me to go home. So I rush home. Then my mentality is aku dah kena get ready lah. Okay, so aku dengan baju kerja semua datang rumah kakak aku lah. So that time, like I said, my parents is staying with my sister, so which is 1 block away. So bila aku dah masuk rumah tu, aku tanyalah adik aku. Dia cakap, dik mau mana? Terus dia cakap, dik pula, ini mana, mau mana? Terus dia cakap, dalam bilik. So benda ni macam tak ada apa-apa tau. Macam adik macam, betul saya. Tu dia cakap, okay guys, logically malam lah selalu kena sampuk kan. Okay, malam tengah hari, tak adalah sampai pagi-pagi buta, pukul 9 pagi saya guys. Okay, 9 pagi mak aku kena sampuk. So I went in the room. Aku tengah nampak mak aku dalam, dekat corner, tengah duduk atas jadah dengan telekung, tengah menggigil. Macam gini tau, tengah angkat doa. So aku masuk bilik, aku duduk depan dia, aku cakap, mak, what happened? Dia cakap, asal ni? Sekali dia stop menggigil. Again, she laugh. Dia ketawa, ha. Ni kali dia berbual guys, okay? Ni kali dia cakap, kan aku dah cakap aku akan bunuh mak kau. Okay, that thing is already macam scary part lah. Okay, tiba-tiba macam, apa sih dia bunuh. Lepas tu, it's actually benda apa yang semalam terjadi lagi. Okay, so benda ni is bila then I keep on reciting again the Al-Fatihah 3 full, Al-Fatihah 3 full. Okay, so benda ni aku dapat berbual tau. Okay, so and this thing take a very very long time. Okay, korang imagine pukul 10 pagi, pukul 10 lebih aku sampai rumah kakak aku. So that 10 plus, okay, I call my father. Okay, aku rasa dia pun ambil half day leave. Okay, I call my sister tak balik lah, my elder sister tak balik. So I texted my wife saying that mama kena sampuk. I think she also take an urgent leave. Okay, so benda ni terjadi bila aku, adik aku, 2 maid lah kat rumah dengan budak-budak tau. So bila aku tengah reciting all the verses in front of my mother, okay, suddenly I heard a scream from outside. Okay, I was in the room okay, in the master bedroom, bukan okay, it's a common room. Then after I heard scream outside the hall, okay, calling it's my maid lah. My maid say, sir, tolong. Macam apa siapa nak apa. Okay, so sir tolong. Okay, I was so pressured that day Kau tahu macam pagi nak kena buat ni, tiba kena sampung, macam everything is dah tak logik guys. Okay, benda ni dah tak logik langsung. Okay, so dia cakap, sir tolong. I forgot her name. Okay, so let me just tell it, this is BBB lah. Okay, so BBA is my BB is my sister's BB. Okay, so BBA was shouting and said, sir tolong. Then I asked her, okay, what you want? And she said that BBB, okay, dalam bahasa dia is, tolong sir, tolong, BBB lemas. Then, okay, konteks dia bahasa tu lain sangat tau. Okay, lemas in Malay, okay, or in Malaysia is actually drowning. Okay, betul tak? Drowning, lemas lah. So mati lemas is lemas. Okay, it's drowning lah. Okay, but then konteks dorang is lemah. Okay, konteks dorang lemas tu adalah lemah bahasa dorang. Okay, so dorang cakap BBB lemas. So I didn't know exactly that I went out of the room. They actually at the main door, and then they was holding a baby. Then suddenly when I came out, I saw my mate was holding 2 babies lah. So kakak aku ada anak kan. So dua-dua lah kat situ dengan dia. Then I look at this BBB, I ask her, what happened to you? I cakap, apa pasal ni? Then tiba-tiba guys, dia macam really macam lembik. Okay, lembik. So she was holding the gate, and then dia jatuh, dia rebah. Bila dia rebah tu, aku tanya dia, bangun. Cakap, aku ingat because she was so terrified of the situation, she fainted. But actually tidak guys. Okay, benda tu easy to say, daripada mak aku dia transfer pergi kat mate ni. So mate ni pula berkelakuan pelik sangat. Dia dah tergolek satu rumah guys. Okay, so she is just rolling over on the floor lah. Rolling. So dia roll all over. So aku macam, apa sial ni? Okay, so bila roll, so mak aku turn out to be fine. So she went out of the room. Then she said dia dah transfer. Okay, so she transfer to another body lah. Okay, which is my the BBB. So BBB keep on rolling. Then I have to stand to one corner. Okay, then I have to macam cordon dia to a corner. Jadi dia tak kulit satu rumah lah. Cordon her to a corner. And then I just keep on reciting the verse lah. Okay, I tried my best. Okay, and then bila dia dah golek, aku rasa dah close to about 15-20 minutes. Dia pun dah penat, dah berpeluh kan. Okay, benda tu macam very apa, benda yang satu tak logik, lagi satu korang tengok macam benda yang dah sangat meripik lah. Benda tu dah jadi dalca sangat lah guys. Okay, so benda tu dah jadi macam huru hara sangat. Aku dah diri kat situ, dah keep on reciting verses. Mak aku kat belakang dengan telekong. Okay, and there's 2 babies there. So bila recite again. Okay, bila dibacakan benda tu 15-20 minutes dia stop. Bila dia dah stop, okay, luckily on time my wife came back. Okay, bila dia sampai rumah kakak aku. So bila sampai rumah kakak aku, the first thing I told her is take the kids. Okay, ambil dua-dua baby ni, pergi duduk satu corner. Okay, so bila duduk satu corner ni, adik aku was at home but she is terrified. Okay, dia dah takut lah. So she sitting one side, dia dah at her own zone lah. Okay, so bila benda ni jadi, so okay, dia dah terrified. Bini aku balik, okay, take the kids, and then benda ni transfer pula ke BBA. Okay, so bila dia transfer kat BBA, okay, benda BBA ni tiba-tiba duduk bersila. Okay, bila dia duduk bersila ni, dia dah how to say dia dah bukan, okay, first kali bila mak aku kena sampuk. Okay, dia different character guys, different character. So bila mak aku kena sampuk, dia berbual, dia cakap dia nak bunuh mak aku. The second one is the golek-golek around the house, the BBB. Okay, the BBA dia duduk and dia mengeluarkan bunyi-bunyi yang pelik-pelik lah. Okay, bunyi-bunyi yang macam mengaum, bunyi-bunyi macam I really don't know how to explain lah, but bunyi-bunyi yang meripik lah, macam gitu tau. Macam bunyi kelawar lah, bunyi-bunyi binatang lah. Okay, so again aku kat situ helpless, stress, penat, pressured. Okay, aku satu orang lain semua ni kaum perempuan, and benda ni jadi macam very pressured to me lah. So I just keep on reciting lah. I tried my best. Okay, aku azan semua macam-macam lah. Okay, ini sekali bapak aku balik. Okay, bila bapak aku balik, aku ingat benda tu dah jadi macam benda yang selamat. Okay, mungkin selamat lah, he can help lah. Okay, tapi bila dia sampai tu, okay, things macam dah subside lah, dah macam subside. Okay, benda semua dah cool. Aku rasa semua dah penat. By the time dia sampai, it's around 3-4 PM. Okay, dah pukul 3-4 petang lah. So pukul 3-4 petang, so my dad told me, okay, kita bawa ramai-ramai semua balik rumah kau, which is my house lah. So benda terjadi kat rumah kakak. So kita balik kat rumah aku. So bila rumah aku ni, first kita keluar, aku suruh maid aku keluar bawa budak-budak semua. Sekali yang tinggal aku tengah duduk, tengah isap rokok. Mak aku cakap dia nak masuk dalam bilik nak ambil barang. Okay. So dia keluar. Bila dia keluar tu, okay, dia dengan buku Yasin. So buku Yasin ni, so bila dia keluar dia dengan buku Yasin tu, okay, dekat bilik rumah kakak aku ni ada satu rak untuk dia letak helmet tau. Okay, so abang ipar aku is a helmet lover. Okay, so ada Arai, Shui semua dalam lah. So you know the IKEA glass cage punya showcase lah. Okay, so dia ambil buku Yasin tu, dia ketuk tu showcase lah. So showcase tu pun dah bergegar. Sekali my mom just walk straight to my face and say, aku akan bunuh mak kau. So lagi sekali guys, benda ni macam bila aku nak keluar rumah pun benda ni jadi lagi. Okay, so again aku recite again. Okay, benda ni aku dah recite, aku dah azan. So kita dapat keluar. Okay, to make this short, okay, aku keluar rumah. Bila aku keluar rumah, kita kat bawah. Kita dah turun bawah. Sekali mak aku cakap, kita duduk playground kejap lah. So kat rumah bawah aku ni ada park tau. So kita duduk dekat bench dekat situ. Sekali mate aku, which is BBA, cakap, Sir tolong ambil anak ni. Okay, so aku ingat dia nak pergi toilet ke apa lah. So aku ambil. Tiba-tiba dia nangis guys kat playground. I mean dekat bench tu. The bench tu kita duduk kat daerah playground lah. So dia duduk, dia ternangis. Dia nangis. Aku pun dah panik lah. Macam, bukan panik, macam apa sih ni. Cakap benda ni bila terjadi dekat rumah ataupun secluded area yang orang tak nampak okey tau. Tapi bila dia dah jadi dekat luar and it's public, okay, benda ni akan menyusahkan kau lagi bila polis datang ke, bila orang-orang awam ni tiba-tiba get a little friendly and ask macam mate aku kena abuse ke apa. So bapak aku initially talk to this thing, saying that kau tunggu sekejap lah. Dia cakap kalau kau betul ada hajat, kita malam kita boleh settle lah. So bila malam tu, okay, on that period of time, I called my father-in-law. Okay, my father-in-law tahu pasal benda ni. Okay, tahu pasal benda-benda sampul ruqyah ni semualah. Okay, and at that period of time, I think he's the best person that knows lah. Right, so I called my father-in-law. Then my father-in-law said that okay, he will come that night lah. So but then he said that dia tak boleh janji. Dia mungkin dia sampai maghrib atau lepas maghrib. Okay, so benda tu bila bapak aku dah berbual dengan dia, bapak aku cakap kau nak datang malam. Okay, so kita naik atas rumah aku. Then benda tu, okay, bila kita balik rumah aku tu dah dalam pukul 5 lebih 6. Okay, so 5 lebih 6. Okay, everything was settled. Okay, settled. So I thought that's nothing lah. Then after that came at 7:30, my father-in-law came. Okay, cerita ni agak panjang guys, so bear with me ya. Okay, but I'm going to tell you every details that terjadilah dalam rumah ni, so korang akan faham. So bila 7:30 tu my father-in-law came. Okay, so dia ambil wuduk semua. Dia cakap dia nak sembahyang dulu lah. Dia sembahyang dulu. So nothing happen. Sampai dia ambil air. So he thought it was the room. My mom was watching TV lah dekat hall. Dia tengah duduk kat bawah tengah duduk kat lantai, tengah tengok TV. So bila dia dah habis solat semua, sekali dia keluar dia dah start renjis air. Okay, air bacaan dekat sekeliling rumah. Sampai dia diri depan my mom. And then okay, kejadian tu malam tu dah ramai guys. So my family, my mom, my parents, okay, then after that my parents-in-law semua dah ada kat rumah aku lah. So benda ni dah kecoh lah. So tiba-tiba bila dia dah baca depan my mom, my mom pun laugh. Okay, the same laughter that I show you lah, aku tak payah repeat lagi. Okay, so dia laugh and laugh. Okay, then dia cakap yang kau tak cukup kuat untuk lawan aku. Okay, bila dia cakap gitu, my father-in-law pass me his phone and then he said call this person. Okay, so yang aku akan call ni adalah Rukia, one of the Rukia punya certified person lah yang buat Rukia lah. Okay, so mindset aku is bila ada emergency, korang call Rukia person to come, he will help you lah. Macam okay, macam example doktor, kalau ada kematian, dorang kan ada emergency case untuk datang. So bila aku call this number, okay, nombor ni aku dah tak ingat, and then there's a lady pick up. The lady pick up, then I told the lady, Assalamualaikum, boleh saya cakap dengan I forget the name okay, of this perukia. Then she said, he's behaving or something lah. Okay, he unable to pick up the phone. Okay, so how can I help you? She said. And I exactly told her, okay, macam gini, I told her, saya nak minta tolong mak saya kena sampuk. Okay, saya nak minta tolong mak saya kena sampuk. I said that exactly. The question that I get back is, macam mana awak tahu mak awak kena sampuk? Okay, guys, satu, bila kau dah penat, kau dah pressure, kau dapat that kind of question mungkin dia nak test aku lah. Mungkin dia nak test aku. Tapi dalam keadaan aku is, aku macam sialah, dia ni nak tanya macam-macam okay, so aku cakap dengan dia lah, cakap saya, macam mana saya tahu is mak saya dah kelakuan aneh lah. Okay, dia dah ketawa, dah mengilai. So background mak aku tengah ketawa, tengah mengilai lah. Okay, so bila dia tengah buat gitu, okay, bila dia dah ketawa, dah mengilai, okay, that was heard in the background lah. Then after that, I said, I really need your assistance. Okay, can you help to calm down and see what can you do? Okay, the answer yang aku dapat is very menyakitkan hati lah. Okay, dia cakap, kita tak buat consultation malam-malam lah. Malam-malam ni kita tak buat consultation. Okay, so guys, aku lagi sekali aku tak tahu which perukia is this tapi aku rasa this is one of the Singapore listed rukia members lah. Okay, this is very frustrating pasal benda ni dah jadi daripada semalam tau. Bila aku call Rukia, dia ingat aku main-main dia ingat aku macam ni. Okay, tak apa. So I put down the phone, I told my father-in-law, I told him macam meripik pun dia tak nak datang. So my father-in-law said, tak apa. Okay, kita try whatever we can do lah. Okay, so benda ni dah jadi huru-hara sangat. Okay, sampai 3 orang, means aku, my dad and my father-in-law have to recite it together lah. Dah macam jadi case tahlil lah guys. Okay, so kita dah duduk in triangle and kita dah bacakan. So my mom was laughing and giggling and mengilai. So aku macam okay. So bila dia dah stop, okay, I went nearer to my mom and I was in anger dalam perasaan marah tu. Okay, aku tanya, siapa kau? Okay, I was really macam dah angry lah. Cakap, kau dah penat siya. Aku tanya dia, siapa kau? Dia cakap, how do you came here and what is your intention? So he just it just keep repeating, aku nak bunuh mak kau, aku nak bunuh mak kau. Okay, when the intention, bila benda tu masuk dalam kepala otak, aku ingat orang bikin guys. Okay, so I really thought that ada orang hantar lah, okay, sihir ke apa. So bila benda ni dah happen to, aku rasa close to half an hour to 30 to 45 minutes. Okay, benda tu tiba-tiba menangis yang menyedih sangat nangis dia. And dia cakap, tolong aku nak balik. Okay, aku nak balik. So she keep on saying that aku nak balik. So bila aku cakap dengan dia, boleh kau nak balik boleh, tapi kau kena bilang aku siapa yang hantar kau, kenapa kau kat sini. So dia cakap, aku tidak bertuan, tapi aku adalah tuan. Okay, aku tidak bertuan, tapi aku adalah tuan. Alright. So cerita nak dijadikan cerita ni, okay, bila dia cakap gitu aku pun lost. So my father-in-law is still reciting behind my mom. Okay, my dad was looking at me, then I was like trying to figure out apa benda ni. So bila last dia cakap dengan benda ni dah lama sangat guys. Aku rasa dah nak masuk pukul 10 malam. Just keep on giggling ni, and aku dapat sedikit sebanyak info about it lah. Yang dia cakap dia tak bertuan tapi dia adalah tuan. Okay, so bila dia dah give up sangat, aku rasa dah terlalu lama dia dalam dimension kita okay. Korang-korang tahu pasal jin tak boleh masuk dalam dunia manusia, and it takes up a lot of energy for them. Okay, so bila dia dah penat sangat, dia dah merayu, dah menangis, dia dah cakap aku nak balik. Terus aku cakap okay, kau balik lah. Okay, so kau balik. So bila dia cakap, then my father-in-law came in. My father-in-law asked if dia nak masuk Islam. Okay, so nak tak nak, aku rasa dia dah penat sangat, dia agree to it lah. So when dia agree to it, bila dia dah mengucap syahadah tu, okay, dia dah mengucap syahadah. Lepas tu dia cakap yang then after that she is able to talk nicely to us and inform everything lah. So bila kita tanya, okay, the first thing kita tanya, dari mana kau datang, dia cakap exactly the place of it lah. The nama yang tak pernah dengar guys. Okay, nama yang tak pernah dengar. Tapi dia cakap di kawasan Bukit Bukau, di pertengahan I think Middle Javanese atau Eastern Javanese. Okay, dalam jauh, kira kerabat-kerabat, bukan kerabat, sorry, dalam daerah-daerah Javanese lah. So aku cakap macam mana kau boleh tersesat kat sini. So dia cakap, okay, cerita dia is, dia cakap yang dia tengah jalan, okay, dan dia tersampai di sini. Okay, benda ni susah aku nak absorb dan faham, dan nak go inside my brain lah. Cakap apa sih kau jalan kau boleh sesat kat sini, so doesn't make sense lah. So I was really think that orang hantar barang ni. Tapi dia keep on saying that dia jalan, dia jumpa tempat ni, So the next question my father-in-law asked was, how many of you guys are here? Okay, so dia cakap ramai. Okay, ramai. So when we ask the exact number, she cannot give the exact number. She just say it's ramai lah. Kami ramai di sini. So cakap apa tujuan datang di sini? Dia cakap kita tak ada tujuan untuk datang di sini. Kita cuma bila kita jalan tu kita tersesat masuk di sini. So bila dia cakap tersesat masuk di sini, aku macam a bit muskil lah. Macam wow, rumah aku ni ada pintu-pintu gaib ya guys. Okay, so dia cakap tolonglah, aku dah cukup penat berada di dalam dunia kau, aku nak balik. Okay, bila dia balik, bila dia cakap bila dia balik tu dia confirm takkan ganggu lagi lah. Okay, and so benda ni after that bila aku dah berbual ni semua, my father-in-law take over the thing. Then my father-in-law yang tanyalah macam-macam. So macam dia cakap bila ramai tu berapa ramai, dia tak nak bilang. So dia cakap bila dia nak balik, macam mana dia nak balik. Sekali initially dia cakap ni guys, dia cakap aku terjumpa satu pintu. Okay, pintu ni yang buat aku datang sini dan aku akan balik. Tapi pintu tu, okay, dah ditutup, dah tertutup. So bila dia cakap pintu dah tertutup, aku macam apa sih pintu yang tertutup? Dia cakap pintu apa yang tertutup? So aku tengok main door aku, it's wide open lah. Okay, so aku cakap ni pintu keluar lah. So bila bapak motor aku tengah baca-baca, then I was sitting in front of my mom. So my dad actually pergi pagar rumah guys. Dia pergi from corner to corner, dia pergi pagar rumah tau guys. Okay, so corner to corner. So benda ni dah trap dalam rumah, dia dah tak boleh keluar sampai dia tunjuk the exact location of where it is. Okay, where is the hole. So she begged us to reopen the door, let her out, and then you can close it back. Okay, so bila aku masuk rumah ni, Macam aku cakap, aku just sema rumah, azan je. So ada nenek macam buat doa selamat semua, tidak okay. Bukan tak nak, tapi tak ada kemampuan back then, dan aku tak rasa perlulah benda tu. Okay. So bila then after that I ask my dad. So my dad say memang aku pagar rumah. So aku cakap bapak aku, okay bapak try buka tengok boleh buat. Okay. So bila dah buka, benda ni pun dengan bacaan-bacaan tertentu, benda ni pun cakap aku dah nampak pintu tapi kecil sangat, tolong bukakan lagi. So my dad again mohon, and he asked to open the door, whatever the door is lah. So dia nak keluar. Okay, so this thing happen dekat hall tau. Okay, dia cuma tunjuk direction of the door je. So bila the door tu dah open, okay, dia cakap dah open. So my father-in-law said, okay, now you can go home lah. Okay, so bila go home ni, aku ingat dia akan balik. Dia balik betul-betul, dia nak balik So aku tak teringat yang dia cakap kita di sini ramai. Sampailah my father-in-law told this thing, cakap sebelum kau pergi, okay, make sure you are the last one to leave. I don't want any of kaum kerabat kau yang kau bawa, kau tahu kawan-kawan kau yang dengan kau ni tertinggal kat sini. Okay, so she agreed to it. Okay, like I said, bila dia dah mengucap syahadah tu, she was very calm, and kira benda ni terbuka kira dia yang berubah sepatah lah. So she told everything lah, okay, in my mom's voice. So bila dia buka, bila pintu dia dah buka, so okay, the thing is, aku rasa dia dah penat sangat. Okay, bila kita cakap okay, go to the door, okay, my mom literally crawl tau guys, crawling okay, leopard crawl, macam mana korang tahu leopard crawl, crawling from the hall to my room. Okay, and the door is at my room, in my room. Okay, so she crawl, and benda ni bukan sekejap kan, bukan that fast lah macam. Okay, dia bukan jual tau, it's very very slow. It takes up to 10 minutes, aku rasa about 10 minutes there. Okay, from the hall to enter my room by crawling. So it went very very slow. Okay, so dia slow gila. So dia satu tangan dia ricau, dia tarik badan dia. Aku rasa dia dah penat gila. Okay, so again we remind her, before you leave, make sure everyone is out first, then you leave. Okay, so benda ni yang sangat menakjubkan. Okay, kita takkan nampak dengan mata kasar, tapi the action she did was very amazing. Okay, so what she did is, okay, dia tengah, macam aku cakap, dia tengah in a crawling position, right? So crawling position, so what she did is she take something from here, she do like that take something from here, then she put at the specific wall lah. So she just ni sampai satu part ni, aku rasa it's before she leave okay, she turn to the back macam ni cakap, kau sini, dia macam gitu exactly, macam dia suruh ni sini, terus cakap kau jangan kurang hajar, kau jangan she told that particular thing is listen to me, macam exactly macam in her word, macam kau dengar cakap aku, kalau tak aku bunuh kau. Itulah baru aku faham, aku tak bertuan tapi aku adalah tuan. Okay, means, okay, this is my assumption means, okay, whoever is talking to us, okay, the whole time is, okay, pada siapa yang boleh berbual dengan kita ni, is actually adalah ketua ataupun ketua lah, is the leader lah, the head leader lah. Okay, and whoever is following her or him is the army lah. So that is what I understand. So everyone have to listen to this thing. Okay, dia ada memberi nama. Okay, nama tu kalau korang nak tahu, korang akan tanya aku personally. Okay, korang boleh tanya personally lah. Tapi nama tu aku takkan sebut kat sini, pasal benda ni boleh diseru lah, okay, dengan nama dia. Pasal that is what she said lah. Pasal aku dah cakap dengan dia, seandainya kalau ada benda lagi terjadi, kalau dipetik atau ditanya ada berkaitan dengan dia, okay, I would definitely claim her lah, macam gitu lah, macam claim aku setengah gertak je, macam cakap aku claim kau, cakap budak-budak kau kalau masih tinggal sini, cakap I would definitely claim you lah. So it's a way to gertak lah. So she said macam dia agree on it lah. Aku rasa dia dah very tired and dia dah malas nak aku, dia main maafkan je lah. Okay, so she called everyone in that particular door, which untuk dia adalah pintu. And then before she leave, she actually we actually beri salam and dia jawab salam. Okay, so the lift, and that is the most hectic thing that happened dekat rumah ini. Okay, and after that I asked my dad to pagar the house again and make sure, and whatever the dimension yang ada tu kita tutup, okay, with the doa and the permohonan lah dari Allah. Okay, so if you guys are asking me, okay, now I'm telling you, this is the exact spot where I am sitting, is the door that she meant. Okay, this is the exact place. Okay, this is where I'm sitting, and this is actually the door that she claims to be the door yang dia jalan-jalan tersesat, dia termasuk kat sini. Okay, so di sinilah is exactly the place yang aku tengah duduk ni untuk pintu dimension kepada jin-jin ni lah. Okay, so thank you guys for listening. Okay, I know this is a very long podcast or very long story for you to absorb, but thank you for listening. If you like, don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, stay tuned for the third part. Thank you.